Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fit and Focus for Remote Work and Digital Nomads podcast. My name is Shurina. I'm a certified nutritionist, health performance coach. I transitioned fully to brain performance coaching right now, and on this podcast, I can't wait to share everything that I'm learning from the fields of neuroscience and high performance and combining it with my expertise in health and nutrition coaching and lifestyle coaching, giving you the tools to learn how to use the brain to unlock, if it's not full capacity, then, the fullest that you can get to feel, look, and do your absolute best. A great working brain has a lot to do with everything you do in your life. It has to do with everything, actually. What you think, decisions you make, what habits you keep or break, or having hard times adopting or breaking. It all has to do with the brain, even your emotions. Like sometimes we think, the brain is the thinking part of us. We feel, in our hearts or somewhere else, but actually we get the feelings because of what the brain perceives is happening inside ourselves and in the environment, in our social environment or a physical environment, right? Like temperature or what we eat, and then again with the relationship that we have. So the brain kind of gathers all this information and gives us the feeling through different hormonal systems that we are not really aware of consciously. Feeling and thoughts to promote or to prime or to nudge, to push certain actions to address possible issues or to give us feedback. If you start feeling good, like happy, positive, a good vibe, etc., it means that your brain analyzed all the data and figured out that something good is happening. Maybe you're getting some reward, maybe you're getting some food, maybe you're getting laid. I don't know, and your brain like, yeah, this feels good. This is good for us. So we're going to give you this feeling of good. So you get more of that, right? Continue. The feeling of good is the basic sign from our brain to go, to pursue, to continue doing what it is we are doing. And when we feel not so good, sometimes physical, mental, emotional pain, that's the sign, the simple sign, no go. Whatever it is you're doing, it's got to be addressed. Not good for us long term, right? Might threaten our survival from the analysis of all the data that comes into your brain. So brain is in charge of your feelings. You create those feelings. Well, your brain creates those feelings based on your experience. You do certain thing and it produces certain results. So your brain gives you feeling up front. So again, you either continue doing that or not. But that's just, a little bit from what I learned reading a ton of books and listening to a lot of neuroscience about how feelings are created. Again, they're not something that just appears. They're actually the summaries done by our brain of what's happening in the environment and what's the best action in the situation, right? The feelings are kind of the push to act in a certain way. What else? Today I wanted to share with you something that I realized yesterday that was a huge realization. And for a lot of you guys, you probably want to develop, you're working on your gig, you might be business owners, or you're just building projects. For a lot of you, it is important to find your passion, to work on something that you love doing, that maybe you are exceptionally good at, and you might have a potential to develop it into something that, thousands or hundreds or millions of people would love, and it might even, change the world in some capacity. So if you're into that, this realization will be useful to you. I don't know if you know Dilbert Comics. It's kind of like comics about office life. Scott Adams is the author. He used to work, I think, in corporate environment, and then he kind of like over the course of certain iterations in his career, he became this comic creator who is paid for that, and one of the best known comics, Scott Adams, right? And he wrote also a few books. And when he was interviewed about like, what do you think made you great? What made you different? Not a lot of comics at all are paid for what they do and paid well and are well known. And Scott Adams said a very interesting thing that I only now start to understand. He said, I wasn't exceptionally good at humor. I wasn't exceptionally good at writing. I wasn't exceptionally good at drawing, I wasn't exceptionally good at that. But then I realized that if I combine those talents, it's going to be a unique mix that nobody else can offer to the world. And that can actually become quite a success. And I believe that this analysis he made after the fact that he already started to succeed as a writer, as a comic creator. But the idea is that very often, if we just do one thing and compete on one thing with the rest of the world, it's going to be super hard for us to break through, to be noticed, to have fans, right? Fans of our work that we create in the world. If we just choose one thing, right? But if we combine in some way a lot of our passions and talents, small and big, a lot of our curiosities, and we create this unique kind of thing that can be categorized as comics, but also it's so much more than that, right? In a case of Scott Adams. Like in my case, when I first heard it from Scott Adams, I thought that, well, maybe I need to combine my coaching with, I don't know, dancing or drawing, or I also love singing and creating animations. I'm not, like a professional animator, but I love doing that. I'm quite good at drawing. I'm like, maybe I should start creating, I don't know, funny drawings about health or about nutrition or about performance. So I thought about that, but it actually never worked out for one reason or the other. I was just, I think, not that much into drawing. But then a couple of days ago, I realized when people started to recognize me for what I do and for the unique thing that I do, this brain coaching through the perspective of body, of health, of fitness, of daily routines, of nutrition, and controlling different aspects of our environment to improve how our brain works, to improve things like focus, motivation, or even things like anxiety and confidence, right? When people started to recognize me for that, I realized that actually I am doing that thing that Scott Adams mentioned, being a kind of master of combining a lot of things together. But I wasn't combining, like singing with, I don't know, coaching or something like that. What I was combining is all these different passions that I went through in my life, all the certifications, fitness and health and nutrition and meditation and performance for athletes, and also for mental athletes, what I like to call, people who want to perform cognitively at a higher level. And my inner curiosity for neuroscience and understanding consciousness and how all the things we do in our life or experience, they affect our consciousness and behavior, conscious or unconscious, right? And all these different things, and my deep passion for food and understanding that deeper. And now I'm combining it all to bring a final product, so to speak, or result of better capacity to use our brain. I realized I'm actually doing exactly what he said. It just wasn't in the way that I thought you had to do it, like, completely different areas. You just combine all the different, again, passions and curiosities, and they might be kind of related, but you put them together in a way that nobody else in the entire world could put them together. When people ask me now that I've created a new brain mastery program, it's 12-week program, soon going to be available. When people ask me, aren't you afraid, Angela, that somebody gonna like steal it once you publish it, or start getting people through it? And maybe somebody will plagiarize it and sell it as their own. And I always tell people, and I think to myself, like, there is no one in this world who went through the same life experiences, who got the same certifications, who read the same countless of books and drew the same conclusions, who is constantly every day reading certain studies, certain books, talks to neuroscientists and other scientists, and thinks about things, lives their life in a certain way. There is no other person like that. And I'm constantly developing the coaching, the method that I give to people based on my coaching experience, based on my personal experience on the science, right? There is no other person who can put all of that together in such a way. Just no such person ever will exist, because they're simply not me. And so, no, I'm never afraid, because even I was talking to a web designer yesterday who helps me to put together sales page, etc. And he asked me about, testimonials for my program. And I honestly told him, Nick, I just put this together based on all of that I learned, based on my experience with my clients. And this is the first time that I put it together. And even as I go, I tweak it as new research coming out. Like, there is no other person in this world who's doing it in the same way. And that's why the program is going to be completely unique. And every time somebody goes through it, it's going to be slightly different, slightly better, because science, the world, we're changing faster than ever before, right? And yeah, back to Scott Adams. I am doing that thing, combining all the different aspects of myself, even though it's not dancing and singing that I'm putting into my coaching, into this service, this program, this result that I want to bring into the world of high performance, of self-improvement, of education, and just becoming, unlocking our human potential a little bit more in a little bit different way, right? So I'm combining all of that, and I'm bringing something that only I can bring into the world. And guys, if you are a creator, do that, and it will pay off so well. Not just, I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about payoff emotionally. Just you'll feel like you are bringing into this world something that is truly unique to you. And again, it doesn't have to be invention of some device or some new painting or dancing style. It just has to be something that is connected to your life experience, to everything that you love, and everything that connects in your head in some weird, unexpected, but such a beautiful way. And it's going to be your thing, right? So don't be afraid to start working on that in whichever capacity. And that is the thing that's going to bring the world the most value, that's going to bring you the most satisfaction. And that's how you also grow your personal brand that is truly going to be personal and unique, and can be mistaken for no other person, and cannot be stolen or rebranded or plagiarized. It's going to be you. It's going to be your thing. So I finally understood what Scott Adams meant there. Combine a lot of things that you're quite good at, and you will be known as a great in this one thing that nobody can even define often, sometimes not even you yourself. So that was the realization. I hope it was useful for you to think about that. If you are struggling to find your thing, that thing might be actually a combination of a lot of different things that you are interested in. Just what do you want to change in the world? Maybe shape it through that lens. So what do you want to create in the world? Make it different, right? And put all of your curiosities and talents into that. Like for me, when I was growing up as a kid, I experienced a lot of stressful situations, like a lot of us did, and challenges, and also autoimmune condition. And I had to work through all of that with so much struggle. And then the struggle could be so much less and so much faster, this pain and challenges, if somebody gave me the tools, like, Angela, you can learn better, and you can manage your stress, and if something bad happens, you can do this breathing or this meditation, or you might not feeling all that motivated to learn or not that happy because you don't go outside every morning, right? If somebody told me that, or you can change the foods that you eat, and this autoimmune condition will go away, and you'll have more energy, and you not gonna have all these self-doubting thoughts. I wish somebody would give me that and told me that, and that's my struggle, and that's why I'm combining all these tools that I've learned. Just life put me on this, path to learn all of that, to deal with my own issues and to address that and make myself into a happy, high-performing person that I knew was inside of me, but something didn't allow to bring it out, right? So I'm addressing that. I don't want that, girl that might be right now someone struggling with that, this teenage girl, to struggle with that. I want this to be available in our education system. I want kids to know that this is how your body, how your brain work. And if you do these things, it will work better. If you do those things, it will work worse. Now, it's still your choice, but at least you have the tools, right? So that's what I want to bring into the world as my, life vision. It might take 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I don't really care. It might take less with all the technology. But that's where all my talents flow into to solve this problem and bring the solution. And actually, this episode, I might end here because I've already been talking for a while. And to make it more practical, I think if you are at this moment and you're not sure what to pursue, and you might be worried, I'm at a certain age or whichever, and I don't know what it is, my thing, I can't find it. Think, and it's not just my advice, I heard it many times, think about the problem. And you don't have to come up with a solution right now. From coaching techniques, we have this tool or a way of inquiry that helps your brain to give you the solution, but later. So ask yourself a question, like, what is my thing? Maybe better, what is the problem that I want to solve in the world? Or even better, what do I want to see in the world to be different? And then also maybe take some time to journal about your childhood. What did you struggle with? What did you think was unfair? What did you think was difficult and challenging, and you wish it wasn't that way? And maybe you figured it out, you figured out some issue that came from your childhood, and maybe build your talents around that and help other people to solve that issue also, because a lot of adults, they don't take time for one reason or the other to address those issues, and they kind of carry this wound throughout their life, right? So think about the problems that you want to solve in the world, the changes you want to see in the world, the challenges that you want in your life, and just journal the questions, what it is that I want to see different in the world, what it is I want to solve, what it is that I went through in my life that I solved, and I think I could help other people to solve that. Like, put those questions in the journal and let your brain kind of just ferment on that. And that's what the brain does. You pose a question, and what your brain does, a question is an unresolved problem. And what your brain does automatically really well, once you pose the question and you go about your life, your brain will start working on the solution, especially in the moments when you don't think and you go around your day and you take shower, you eat, you wash dishes, do something else, go for walks. Your brain is doing its work, and at some point sooner, you will get the solution. And if you don't pose the question, you'll probably never get the solution. If you write those questions, you will get the solution faster. That I promise you. And then flow and pour all of your talents into this problem, and you're gonna come out with something really beautiful and something very unique and something that this world needs. As a coach, I work with a lot of people, and it just happens that way, that at some point or the other, everyone pops this question, like, Angela, how did you find this, your thing? Like, can you help me to find that? It just, after people get their health together, etc., they start asking bigger questions. And that's the advice I would, give to people right now. Just figure out what it is you want to see different in the world. And also what it is you want to help other people with and what you struggled with. So those things will help you to find, your thing sooner or later. But ask yourself those questions more often, and also try things. Another thing that a lot of people don't do that I did, I tried a bunch of things. You don't know that probably, but I worked as a personal trainer. I worked as a bartender. I worked as an image consultant. I worked as an interior designer. I worked in sales. I also waited tables. I worked as a professional dancer for like a year. I tried to actually be a cartoonist, but that was really short try. I realized I just don't have the capacity to put that much work to become great at it. At some point I thought I needed to become a writer full time, and I tried to write a lot of articles as a freelancer to start. So those are just a few things that I can think of. Oh, I also tried to work as a model, as a fitness model. It was actually a big thing for a while there. I would try all of these things. Also a personal chef or a vegan chef. I might still open my restaurant at some point, just not raw vegan. So I tried all of these things, right? And nothing stuck. And now I found a thing that has stuck with me for quite a few years, coaching, that is, for over a decade now. And now I'm just transitioning it to a different area. But without trying also, guys, usually you don't find the thing that you love. It's like with your favorite food. How did you find it in the first place? You tried things that you've never tried before, right? And also with relationships, with everything, try things. Sometimes you fail. Sometimes, the food that you try, it's not that good and you wasted your stomach time. But one of those times you find something that you love for the rest of your life. It's like me, I don't know, in what, yogurt, chocolate, nuts. I love a lot of food. But that's another point. Try things. You cannot really think yourself into finding your thing. You need to do and try a lot of things without any guarantee that it is going to turn into that. But it will turn into your life experience. That's for sure. That's it for today, guys. I rambled for quite a while. And you have a practical exercise to do. Pose the questions and write them down. What it is I want to see different in the world, what I want to bring into the world, what I want to help people with, what did I figure out in my life that I think can benefit a lot of people if a lot of people knew that, what was I struggling with as a kid, as a teenager, what passions did I have that back then, right? And then what do I like now? And write it all down, and then you can even throw this page away. Once you write it down, the brain will be aware of those questions and it will give you insights at some point, probably many insights over the course of the next few days, weeks, and months. And just keep working on it and keep trying things, right? Whenever something comes into your awareness and you're like, I'd like to try that, go and try that. That's my advice. I also tried a lot of mini things, crafts and, horse riding and all kinds of indoor tunnel flying, like all kinds of stuff. So try things. Write down questions and then go try things. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to have a guest on our podcast. And the guest that we're going to have tomorrow has quite a story of building his digital nomad business from zero to really successful company. And when he started, he didn't even tell their employers that, he started to work remotely. He just did. And he realized that his employer didn't even have to know that he was working remotely. So a lot of story. There was a nervous breakdown, and then he got into music and has his band now. So quite a story. You're going to love it. And then Thursday, Friday, probably on Friday, I'm going to do another episode about the brain nutrition. Nutrition, food, my passion, right? So stay tuned for the non-boring stories. And till next time, guys. Well, for today, you have homework, actually. Write down those questions. And talk to you soon.